It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We've just arrived at school. We set our bags down. Classes don't begin till 9 o'clock. We have 2 hours because we're gonna ride from the house to school, which only took about 25 minutes. Our bags are set in a specific location. Instead of carrying it everywhere we need to go, we set our bags on the steps leading upstairs next to a closed gate or entrance to the staircase. My brother and my 2 sisters, we decided that we're hungry, so we're just gonna go get something to eat. We head to the bakery and get our 2 loaves of bread, one for lunch and one for breakfast. We've already had our tea, so there's nothing else to drink with it except water from the main faucet close to the school. We eat our loaf of bread and we save the other one for lunch. There's nothing else to do except to wait till all the kids who are early to show up, or just play among ourselves. But instead we decided we're just gonna go walk around the school property. Once you come to the main entrance of the school, there's a volleyball court on the right, the school straight up ahead, and to the left is a Catholic church called the Good Shepherd. Just past the school, straight ahead to the back are the bathrooms, and behind that are a line of trees. To the left is what they call the belfry for church, to announce that church is about to start. And past the tree line, there was another little community of families living behind that tree line. Along the tree line to the right, there would be 2 huge water towers providing water to the school, and lots of shrubs and trees. It almost seemed like a little forest with mango trees and various regular trees all around. Depending on the time of year, there were mangoes from a particular tree that hardly any of us knew that variety of mango. But it was one of the best mangoes that we've ever had. Something about it was just really good because the texture was just so smooth, and usually when we found any under the tree, no one wanted to share it. That's how good it was. So usually when we first got to the school, that was one of the first areas that we would venture to get mangoes. Sometimes we got mangoes, sometimes we didn't. But whenever it was in full, we would get as much as we can until we were satisfied. Whenever we were done, we would walk through the little trails in the little forest-like area behind the school. And I can remember the light breeze blowing through the little tree line because the sun's barely up, and it was usually about 78 degrees. With a little wind blowing through. Sometimes we played games. We didn't know much, but sometimes we played shooting games or whatever it is, and for us, that's the best we could do with our time. We would walk the tree lines, and a lot of times we would see people barely waking up and stepping out of the house for the first time. Clothes on the clothesline. Kids whose clothing were washed the day before, the night before, hanging outside to dry, stepping out, getting the clothing to be pressed or ironed before they put it on for the day. We could slowly hear dogs barking, the community is slowly waking up. You could hear the public transportation passing by, one at a time, very slowly, spread apart. It never really crossed our minds, but life was going on and everybody was doing their own thing. We just trying to pass the time until school was ready to begin. Between playing hide and seek and around the water towers, but sometimes we talked about it. There were two black water towers sitting upright, and it seemed like a scary place to be. I think the only reason why we thought that was because there was hardly anyone around that area. But we would walk around the area and just play games, or we would walk alone just for fun, looking at certain areas. And I remember there was a huge tree next to the Catholic bell tower that a lot of people were afraid of because it had little thorns sticking out of it, and there was some myths about that tree or stories about it that, the devil lived there. The thought of it scared us sometimes, but even if it wasn't true, as kids, it's easy to believe certain things that would create fear in us, but nonetheless, our day went on. The brighter the sun got on the horizon, the less that fear affected us, because the more kids would be showing up for school and venturing in the same areas that we did. So we'd play around and play different games. Sometimes the young girls would pick games that the boys did, and the boys would play games that the girls did. And it didn't matter. It just seemed like fun for everyone. But hardly anyone was actually looking forward to school starting. There were times when we would play soccer on the field next to the school. But because of the temperature and the climate, it would rain and be so muddy that we didn't want to get our clothes dirty. But sometimes we defied that and played anyways, and by the time we were done and ready for class, we'd have to be finding water to wipe the dirt off our uniforms. As kids, it never mattered, because we were all about fun. We would run around, play different games and sport events, and disregard everything else. Sometimes we'd walk around the church and play marbles in the drain next to the church. Everything just seemed so carefree until school began, or classes began. The more kids showed up, the more it seemed like the reality of the day was about to begin. There was usually a warning bell before class begins, about 5 minutes prior. Most of the time, once the warning bell rang, we'd be getting our uniforms or whatever dirt we got on our uniforms. We'd be cleaning that off and getting ready for class. Once the official bell rings, we're all in the classroom. And if you weren't in the classroom, No one wanted to run into the principal because everyone knew him as a very strict principal. And at that time, no one was spared from the leather strap that the principal had in his office. Whether it was for showing up late, which there were times we did, and I remembered showing into the principal's office for being late, and he would ask me, "Why are you late?" And I'd say, "Well, we live about 2 hours away. We walk all the way to school." Sometimes they would give us a break, but showing up late for class was one of the reasons why kids got reprimanded or punished. The times I was late, or my brother and sisters were late, I don't remember them getting the strap, but I remember me getting. And usually you would have to extend your hand and the principal would strap you like 3 or 4 times in the palm of your hand. No one wanted to experience that. I think if you did, the best part about it was when it was over. I can't say that I was only in the principal's office one time. But however long it was, I tried to erase it off my memory. However many times it was, I tried to forget it. I think in person, the principal was a very nice man, but everyone knew him as a very serious individual. And no one dared to challenge him on anything. Facing him as a principal, it felt like someone had given him full and complete authority to punish students in the classroom for doing something wrong. And I remember there were times when I met him in person and he seemed like a really nice person. But when it came to doing his job, I just remembered him as having a bald spot with hair growing around, with a mole above his upper lip, and not smiling to anyone. And he wore those bell bottoms with 4 pockets on his shirt. And he just had the demeanor on it, that just terrified everyone. But anytime you met him in a capacity where it had nothing to do with school, I must say that he did seem like a really nice person. His wife was also a teacher, and his kids also attend the same school. And they all seem like really nice people. But overall, I think that the one thing that most kids were terrified of was facing him for any reason or doing anything wrong in school. Overall, I could say that my time showing up for school early and having fun around the school compound was really an enjoyable time. Sometimes, depending on the day, we would do things right around the school area and just sit around because we were tired and didn't want to venture too far off. But whenever that bell rang, everyone knew that you had to be in school or sitting in the classroom. Because if you were caught lingering around, you would have to pay by facing the principal. Most of the classes I were in, I enjoyed my teachers, and most teachers are not all the same. But some teachers were very understandable, some were not. And just like the principal in charge of the school, the teacher in charge of the classroom, yes, I would sometimes have to pay for certain things that I did in the class, whether it was talking or eating in the classroom. We were not allowed to eat during class. One of the things I got in trouble for the most was there was this one classmate of mine. I thought he was really funny, but for some reason his laugh alone made me laugh. And I thought that every time someone else talked during class, I felt like they never got in trouble, but anytime I did, I was called out by the teacher. I don't know what it was, but that classmate of mine who I thought was really funny, he was a really tiny guy, and his laugh was, I would describe it as very mousy. It was a high-pitched laugh, and just the sound of his laugh alone made me want to laugh. But usually whenever he laughed, he would stop and I would keep laughing, but I'd get in trouble with the teacher for laughing too long. I never thought to be angry or mad about the teacher, but being reprimanded in a classroom for me was hardly anything. The first few times it happened, I was terrified. But after that, it felt like nothing. For me, that's what my early days of school were like. There to learn, but at the same time, have fun. But whenever I did have fun, I got in trouble for it. And I thought that was normal. I could say I was usually an instigator in the class, probably starting a conversation or starting an argument about something, no matter how little it was. But I slowly grew to learn when to start something or when not to. For me, as a kid growing up, no one can give you a blueprint of what to expect in life. Your experiences are the things that guide you. And as time goes by, you'll learn the things that work and the things that don't. I was always conscious of the simple things around me. The minor interactions with my classmates, the people who affected me in certain ways. Whether it was my classmate or the teacher. But I always paid attention to the interaction that I had with my classmates or with the teacher that affected me. And I could tell you that to this very day, I still remember the teachers. Maybe, and I say maybe I was troublesome, but those teachers who had an impact on my life, I still remember them. And I still thank them for playing a role and being part of who I am today. And for me, that's what life is about. I truly believe that every experience in life, no matter what time or point in life it comes, but it is an opportunity to learn something about life and yourself. you.